Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Contributor Technical Discussions. As usual, we are kicking things off with the Gnome Digest. Take it away, Leon.
Yep, thank you. Does everybody see the screen?
Yep.
All right, awesome. So welcome everyone. Again, thank you, Nemanja. So this week's digest, we can get rolling. So there's a bunch of things that we've been doing with GnoWeb, thanks to Alexei, and we've had an update to the Gov.da v3 package with the treasury and more. So let's just start going through the updates themselves. Essentially, the first one is we've added new form inputs to the GnoWeb Gno-flavored markdown that we have. So now radio buttons, checkboxes, text area inputs are all available and can be used. This is a really cool addition thanks to Alexei, and it's going to improve the UI of Realms. Next, if you go to the actions page on the portal loop, for example, you'll see that all of the functions have this little icon on the right side. This is essentially a transaction link. So this was previously obviously doable from within the Realm renderer itself, but in this case, we auto-generate a button that contains the link, which also auto-updates with the changes in the parameters for the functions. This is just going to make it a little bit more simple for people to execute transactions, and later down the line, we can envision something like a QR button or QR code button that would show the QR code for the transaction link, which could then be scanned with a mobile wallet, and the transaction could be executed that way. Next, we have a addition to the Gno by examples. This is a addition which allows you or shows you how to use the pmolmd package. Essentially, it is a tutorial on how to actually use this library to create proper markdown for the rendering. Next, we have the Gov.da treasury. So thanks to Antoine, he's been working very hard to create the Gov.da treasury in v3. And now it supports proposals that can allow users to, or allow the Gov.da to pay users or entities from within the DAO budget itself. And it supports both native coins and the GRC20 tokens. Here's the PR if anybody wants to check it out. And finally, we have GnoWeb mentions. Some of you may have noticed this. So essentially now GnoWeb will auto-link or recognize usernames. So like on Twitter, when you do or handle of somebody, Twitter will basically generate a link that's clickable to the user's page. So this is kind of the same logic. In this case, we have, for example, onblock. We can click it, and it's going to take us to the u/onblock page. And also the same works for addresses. So now you don't need to actually link anything manually. You can still do it, obviously, if you want to, but so nothing was broken by this PR. But now when GnoWeb recognizes that something is a GNO address, it's going to create an automatic link and also add this little icon on the right, signifying that it's taking you to the user page. So this is for this week, and we can go through the other one, which was the week before. So in this case, everybody knows that test 7 was live. It brings a lot of updates, updated treasury, and a bunch of commits that haven't been added to the previous testnet. Next, we have the Gno.land world community tool. Everybody knows about this as well. This is a very, very nice tool that's been gaining traction and getting some more updates. This essentially allows us to have an overview of the ecosystem and it's and just generally showing what's happening, what's fresh to merge, who are new people joining in. As you can see here, David, Nicolas, Munya, Paul, etc. And we also have a scoreboard, which can be a cool thing to try to get the top spot on. You can also have the all-time contributors, which is of course Manfred, Morgan, Jay, etc. Very nice. This is thanks to the Samurai team. Paul, one of the student contributors from the previous cohorts, created a package that essentially supports, and I'm going to butcher this, Levenstein, I think. It is a package that essentially allows people to check the distances between, or the difference in length between two different strings. So essentially, you can compare strings and check how different they are with this algorithm. Also, Antoine updated the treasury after adding the initial draft of it. Now we've added a couple more things. We've added a list of GRC20 tokens, removed some outdated setters, refactored tests, etc. And then finally, the GNO Genesis tool has received some improvements with Gilliam adding a parent subcommand, improved gas price, string parsing, etc. This has been the GNOME Digest. Thank you everybody for listening, and thank you everybody for contributing as always. Please keep on being good gnomes, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Not just good gnomes, the best gnomes.
Of course.
Anyways, next up is the Gnolinker Discord bot demo.
Hey everybody, this is Nathan. I'm going to go ahead and try to present. So I've been kind of working on this in the background with a larger project that we've got going on, working on an event system. One of the things that we knew we wanted to integrate was the ability to link Discord channels to event systems. And I think what we've built is pretty cool. I wanted to share it, and it's generally useful even outside of our event tooling. So what we ended up building was what we're calling Gnolinker bot. And Gnolinker is a slash command. So it's got some, if you've seen earlier demos of this, I was not using slash commands, and now we are. You can always ask it for help, which gives you a breakdown of all the stuff it can do. Most end users are only going to care about these commands here. There's also some administrative tasks, and we may or may not tap into that today. So in this, I'm in a staging environment. So Gnolinker staging, it's like a, just kind of a staging Discord server. Gnolinker is meant to be server agnostic, so it understands the context that it's in. It uses these dismissible ephemeral messages. So even though I'm in a general chat room, I'm the only one who sees the interactions here. We're also not doing anything with secrets, so it's not anything that's too scary. One of the things, though, right now is that I want to do one of the core features here, which is I want to link my Discord ID to my Gnoland address. And the reason being is that I want to be able to get special privileges on this Discord server based off of special privileges I have on Gnoland. And so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to request that we link my address, and we get a claim. And this is just it's a pretty bare bones interface, but hopefully y'all can bear with me. Basically, this tells me that what Discord ID I'm trying to link, the GNO address. We only support a one-to-one linking, so you can't have multiple. Let's see. Did I get that right the first time? Cool. And I got some feedback actually early on from Manfred and some other folks on doing more idiomatic. I was having like a big signed claim, but now we actually break things out. This is to stop drift. We have block height, Discord ID, the address you want to link it to, and then this is a signature. The signature is actually a 825519 signature from the Discord bot attesting that this Discord ID has been requested. Obviously, the GNO address that you're asking for has to be your GNO address, so it has to be linked to the person doing the requesting. And once we have this linked, let me go ahead and confirm I'm on here. Great. And what happened under the background, while you probably didn't notice this, is if you notice, I'm actually glowing green now. This actually means because I'm GNO verified. I was automatically added to the Discord GNO verified role, which is pretty cool because we're doing some cool stuff with indexers. And the other thing I want to do is like, okay, cool, I'm linked, so let's go ask it. And this is just using QEval, so we're not, Discord bot doesn't have any privileged access to Gnoland. Let's see, we're gonna actually ask it the status. And it's kind of cool. It can look it up and say, okay, cool, actually, you're linked to this GNO address. You're actually not a member of any Realm roles. So this will be the next thing. Why would I want to link my address to this? Well, first of all, we can verify somebody on the server that says, hey, cool, I know who your identity is on Gnoland. But here's a much cooler thing that you can do. We can take something like a mock event that I have here. So this is a mock event. So just imagine we have an event. We have organizers, we have speakers, we have attendees. My address ends in this 5 TOT. I'm not currently in attendees. So I'm going to go ahead and join as an attendee. This is a mock event. So it's just, self-service sign up. Go ahead and refresh. Now I'm in the attendees group. one of the things that happened under the hood is, and depending on, yeah, awesome, amazing, it's synced already. So now I'm actually part of this attendees group for this specific realm. These are scoped by the guild that I'm in. The guild is the Discord server. And then this is linked. So I have, and if I'm an attendee on a Gnoland realm, I'm now in the attendee role here. And what this does is this actually gave, in this case, gave me access to this like super secret attendee chat that's here. And the reason that we're able to do this is that we can actually, somebody who's a server admin can actually use these linked roles and do special things like give access to secret channels and things like this. You could imagine things like a speaker's lounge or any number of other special things that are in place. This is actually on our AiB Labs net environment right now. We actually just upgraded to be on parity with test 7. This thing gets blown away multiple times. This does not keep state over long periods of time. But I also wanted to open the invite to other people. If you want to come and test this out, I can give you access to this Discord server. I can give you some GNOT on the LabsNet environment. I'd love to get feedback. So, oh yeah, let me, to finish this up, let's just go double check our status. As you can see, it shows that I'm an attendee here. So anyway, this is like a cool general use tool. I hope that hope this makes sense, and I'll try not to be a stranger for so long next time.
Any questions?
They're really expensive. I remember that you were paying them something that.
I got one. Where should they reach you if they want you to give them access?
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, if you want access, let's see, what's the best way? If you shoot me a message on, that's a good point. Maybe I'll add some contact info. I'm on the Gnoland Discord, so that would be one area that you could do. Yeah, contact me on chain. But yeah, just reach out and I'll be happy to help you out.
Thanks, Nathan. Good job. Moving over to the discussion section. Bertie.
Hi. Okay. Entire screen. So my question is about estimated gas fees. We want to put this in Gnoki Mobile, so it's relevant. I'm going to attempt a live demo here. So I'm going to query test 7 for an account, find out what the balance is. I'm going to grab this balance. The ultimate goal is to show that the estimated fee doesn't correspond to the amount that's actually deleted from the account. So we'll put that number in there. And now we have a transaction, and we're going to simulate the transaction. Voila. So maybe some of you know what's coming here. So there's an estimated gas, there's a gas fee, and and there's a price. So it calculates and it basically multiplies the gas by the gas price and gets a gas fee. So now we're going to actually do the transaction. So not simulate. So we actually do it. Fantastic. So the good news is that the estimated gas corresponds exactly to the amount of gas used. Fantastic. So there's an estimated gas fee that should be deducted. So now I'm going to check the account balance again. And I'm going to click minus, and I'm going to put this in. So this is the question. So it said that there would be this amount of Huguenot deleted from my account if I did this transaction, but then the actual amount deleted It's completely unrelated. So my first question is am I hallucinating? It's quite possible. There's a lot of excellent, inexpensive French wine that I can consume here. And it may be that I don't understand. If you multiply the gas by the gas fee, that you should get the amount deleted. But we didn't put this in Gnoki Mobile because you can compute the estimated gas fee, but it doesn't correspond at all to the amount that's deleted. So that's my question is, should it correspond? Am I completely off base? Does someone want to say something about whether the amount of gas deleted estimated by the estimation, whether it should correspond to the amount of GNOT that's actually deleted from the account?
I can say something. Number one, I see when you estimated the 213, 2136 GNOT. But when you actually made a transaction, the gas fee you put it is how much is 1 million. So whatever the actual gas fee that is will be deducted, right? That's 1 million there. You're actually, when you made the transaction, set string, right? And then there's a deposit happens. You see the events for this. There's actually a storage deposit, because when you set a string field, you actually take deposit for certain storage, and deposit value is 500 GNOT. So total is 1 million. This is like 1,500,000. So that's added up together.
So I understand that there could be other fees involved. So the question is how to get an estimate of the actual amount of GNOT that will be deleted when you do a transaction.
You put your gas fee. You see there's a when you made a transaction, you still put 1 million GNOT gas fee there, right?
Well, I also put that same number in here when I asked for the simulation and for it to give me the estimate.
Yeah, so you should use the gas fee, estimated gas fee, when you actually made the transaction.
So you're saying that when we make a transaction, we put in this number, gas fee?
The estimated gas fee. The estimated gas fee. So the estimated gas fee is in 2136, right?
Yeah.
And then when you actually make a transaction, the next transaction, when you remove simulate only, right?
Yeah.
And actually you put the gas fee is 1 million. On the left. Yes,
yeah, that thing.
Yes. Yeah, that is actually the actual gas fee will be taken by the chain. And plus there is a deposit, which is also if you see the estimated. Okay, so basically okay, when we do the estimation simulate only, you see two information. One is gas fee, one is a deposit 500. So actually you can just put 31 26 36. So their gas fee and also the deposit, you added them together. Actually the actual GNOT will be deducted from your account.
Sorry if I'm a little slow here. So
maybe to summarize, essentially the simulate gives you the estimation, obviously, but when you make a transaction, you are literally hard coding the values that the chain will take. So whatever you say in the transaction when you specified it, that's what's going to be taken. So it's not it doesn't refund you the gas that doesn't get used by the transaction. So it's using whatever you set. The idea is that you simulate and then you put those values into the transaction parameters, and then you'll be able to execute and get the actual correct deduction of the fees. As Miloš said in the comment, we have a PR that's going to allow Gnoki to auto-estimate the gas for you. So basically combine the simulation and use those values for you automatically when you're making a transaction.
So we should simulate and get a gas fee, and then when we actually do the transaction, we should put this number into the gas fee.
So the gas,
2136,
right,
we
yes.
should put that in here.
That's correct.
Wow. So if someone doesn't do the right thing, they get massively screwed, and a lot of coins get deleted from their account.
So basically, whatever the gas fee, we put it in there, is the real number we're going to deduct. Sure.
So if I put in 2135, then maybe the transaction would be rejected because it's not enough?
That's correct.
Okay. So we should simulate, get a gas fee, and then put that into the number that we insert into the transaction, and then hope that that's what's used.
That's correct.
Okay. If it doesn't change in 100 milliseconds later, then the number could change, right? The prevailing gas fee could change.
But there's a buffer, right? So you will see the gas usage right now is 30. I think there's a 5% buffer, just to prevent, okay, there is such a change in the gas fee, so the transaction fail. But in this case, since the current gas fee, if it doesn't change, then actually use this number, it should be fine. Even that it changed 5%, still fine.
So we absolutely need to simulate first, and then use this number when we tell it how much we want the node to charge for our gas fee.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, that answers the question. I'll test that. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Manfred, did you have anything to add?
I don't remember the PR number Miloš was talking about. I think it's 9. But basically, right, you can give a look. I added the flags to allow never caring about gas when you just use Gnoki mobile, Gnoki CLI, sorry. So if you can just give a quick look, right? Jason said we should look this after the launch. But if you can just spend a few minutes to give your opinion. And Jeff, since you are using Gnoki as the backend of Gnoki mobile, you don't have to do what you said because my PR is providing this feature for free for anyone using Gnoki, including yourself.
Do you have the PR number, please?
I don't have a screen. It's Miloš.
You can just search for Gnoki gas auto or something similar.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
pull
do
it up
that.
in a second.
Yeah, if you can try to divert from master and just use this branch against Gnoki mobile. Maybe you should get something very transparent in your page.
Okay,
So
we'll do that.
give it a click.
Yeah, Jeff, if the auto gas is more for is option. So I don't know when you how the user interface will look like, but I think definitely we need probably a verification stage for user to confirm that is the gas they wanted, because if they blindly accept the auto, they can be very surprised for a certain situation.
Yeah, basically, I think you can get inspiration from my PR, but do it in 2 phases, not in a single one. So you don't use the auto value, but you just copy the principle. Maybe I also added helpers that you can reuse directly. And eventually, you could have the auto support, but I suggest you not suggesting it the auto support, the auto flag has a disadvantage of always working, including the 5% buffer. So if for some reason you take 30 minutes to verify the transaction, the auto mode could be better, but yeah, with the risk of not being aware of what will be the price. So I suggest you to get preparation, but do it in 2 manual phases. The simulation one and then the reuse of the value. And eventually as a hidden feature, a lot of people to replace manually the number with auto. If I know what I'm doing, I can just use auto manually.
So of course, I copy paste these commands from the GNOWeb help screen, which has a suggested gas fee. If anybody else does this, they can end up paying 100 times more than they should for a transaction.
Maybe what we can do is to make, so my PR, adding the auto flag, maybe when you add auto and you don't add an extra flag, an extra parameter, we should ask a question. Like, gas fee is estimated at this price, are you okay to continue? Maybe we can ask an extra confirmation step when we use auto.
Is there an advantage to giving a bigger gas fee? Do you guarantee that a validator will accept your transaction or something
in
like
case
that?
of congestion, yes. In case of I don't know, dynamic price that change a lot because I don't know the contract price is varying a lot. It could be an advantage. In case of air gap transactions, it's a huge advantage because an air gap transaction will take maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours to be applied in some cases. It's same for multi-sig. When you do some multi-sig and you take 1 day to just have all the signatures, you are happy to have some buffer. And actually, you are what you said. You use the term deleted from your account. You said we delete my GNOT. In practice, you are sending them to the chain. So it's like giving more keys to the chain, or you are not losing them. You are investing in the chain. I'm feeling well to give a little bit more to corporate transaction.
Okay, well, we'll look at it. Of course, if someone finds out that they're paying 100 times more than they should for a transaction, that could be unhappy. Right. So Milos is giving me the happy cry face that I get a lot. So, okay, well, we'll look at that and we'll look at your PR. Thanks a lot.
And please, in my PR, suggest any things like, as Ray said, for instance, in terms of UX, maybe even the CLI should change in my PR and ask an extra confirmation. So feel free to share what you plan to do. So I can also get my PR regarding new usage and other GNU key implementations.
Okay, thanks.
The second discussion topic is from the Volos team. Take it away, guys.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Mattia, and as some of you all may already know, me and Stefan are working on a landing platform on Gnoland chain called Volos. And recently we've had a problem with the indexer. So to give a brief introduction to the project, I can explain the problem that way. So basically, we have like the on-chain part with the realms and the logic of the landing platform, and then we also have like the off-chain part, which is like obviously like the backend and the frontend as well. And the backend is constantly communicating with the indexer. That's how we get like historic information for the charts and I don't know, like all the DeFi data that you should present on the front end. But the problem is that our like the on-chain, the contract part is updated with the latest version of the master brand from the monorepo, and the indexer is like maybe 3 weeks behind. So what happens is, let me share the screen. Yeah, entire screen. what happens is that basically I've triggered this query. And this is just a transaction message call that I triggered, for example. Basically, what happens is messages. So transaction message on message call is not represented at all. I mean, the indexer doesn't see it. What I found out is that the merging of this PR, so storage deposit, actually introduced some new fields to the message transaction object, and the indexer is just not updated with it. This is a blocker for me for the backend, so I guess I just wanted some like guidance or maybe some advice in where to start and try to fix the indexer, update it with the master branch, or maybe someone can help me in terms of what to do next and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Milos and Nathan just dropped messages in the chat that this was solved in the last 2 days. So you should be good.
Okay, that's great. I just texted yesterday and must have missed it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. I mean, if that's it, I had no other. yeah, that was it. Then no questions, I guess. Thanks.
All right, that's the end of the agenda. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up? Jeff? Go on, Hefe.
Hi, thanks. Seems like we have most of the interested parties in the room now. Staging is in a state where the transactions are incompatible with the current, packet format. One way to solve that problem is for some genius to go through and reformat all the transactions and make them compatible with the current one. The other way to solve that is to just restart staging, wipe it, and ask people to reload their packages and stuff like that. I like to use staging for examples. Is this a stupid question? I wonder what the current thinking is on getting staging to actually be compatible with the current state of master. Will anybody complain if you just restart staging and load it with the latest code and go?
Who wants to take this question? Mapid?
Yeah, we should do what Jeff said. So it's not restarting, it's just re-enabling the auto-update system, but keeping the transaction in the storage. They will all fail for the incompatible ones, but we can still repair all of them or some of them. One of the reasons we usually dislike keeping a broken staging is because we are using it, for instance, for the blog. So when staging is done, basically the blog is not available anymore. But since we have access to the transaction and we have the power to patch the story and staging, what we can do is just to re-enable, do what you said, Jeff, and ask people to re-upload. And in the meantime, for all the packages, some of them or whatever, we can manually or automatically or with a script try to fix most of them or just the ones we need. For instance, the blog ones. So yeah, this is what we should do.
Okay, thanks. I just had the question. I think people understand that it's development and that there's going to be breaking changes, and that's how it goes.
Oh, actually, this is actually one of the premises of testnet. So this staging is like worse than a testnet on this point. It's definitely just best effort. So we can lose transactions. I think the real blocker is for the team to use the blog because it's usually, I don't know, it looks like we failed If you redeploy something, you don't have your own blog, it looks like a failure. So I get it, but I think we should do it. We should break it, and when it's broken, we should fix it instead of just preventing it to be visible.
Yeah,
it should become a habit for us to patch the history of staging. Staging is special. Here we are speaking about repairing the history so it becomes compatible. Tomorrow maybe we will want to do the same, but just to censor something illegal. Because it's a staging, once again, it's not a chain. It's very different from the other things. This is what we use to demonstrate the language power. This is what we use to dog food by writing code that runs on your language. It's not a full blockchain. It's definitely about demonstrating, experimenting, trying, always building with GitHub. So it has a purpose, and we have exceptions. And one of them is definitely to be able to lose some transactions, if not all.
My simple goal is that
I wanted to add one thing, another related task we discussed with Alexi was to make GNOWeb more easily customizable by environment so that we can maybe have subtle changes in the interface, maybe subtle color changes, but also dedicated to disclaimers or something so that we can just express how much this or this feature is disabled or these constraints apply, etc. So we could also just do it again, explain staging is eventually consistent by design.
Yeah, my goal is very simple, is I want to be able to use the current version of Gnokey to interact with the chain. So right now, as I try to interact with the chain, it rejects the transaction using the current Gnokey. So that would be nice, is to be able to use Gnokey to do a transaction with the current state of staging. That's my humble request.
Jeff, one of the reasons that we spun up LabsNet for our team is just so that we would have control over this exact same thing. So like we obviously want to participate on the main chains, but we created our own just so we could like pin, like we just did the testnet 7 parity upgrade, which was pretty smooth for us, but we also just blow away state for our, we use it to like test stuff and share things, and then we do local dev first, then pick a test net as we feel it's appropriate. And that flow has worked for us defensively in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I don't understand what's the point of staging if you can't even interact with it right now. It makes sense. So I used test 7 for my little demo, so that works. And of course, we keep upgrading our own Birdie testnet. But it's when I have questions, it's nice to be able to show a command you can give with staging so that somebody can reproduce what I'm seeing. But I'm sure this is obvious. So,
Sergio?
Yes, I wanted to ask Manfred if it may be useful we temporarily restart staging from scratch like Jeff is asking, and once we are done with it, we restart it from any backup, like the latest backup we have right now. I don't know if it makes any sense.
No, if you auto restart and try to do the history will just fail. So basically, we will have the same chain.
I can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad.
Can you hear me now?
It's a bit better.
Can you hear me? Oh, shit. But no, don't divert from the current script. The current script will give the exact same outcome. It will start on a fresh chain because all the transactions will fail. So don't try to make an empty chain. Just read the incompatibility story and let us power to fix it or not.
Okay.
We want to fix it. We want to make a script that just, I don't know, you just use JQ to try to add the missing field or change the field or whatever. And if we do it successfully, that's great. If we don't, you just have a chain with a lot of failing transactions, and that would not be a problem.
So
the only problem I can see is that it will take more time.
okay, I was thinking about giving a fresh environment. With actually testnet could be test7 either. So yeah, that's just what I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, I understand the point.
If the amount of transactions is really too big, and I don't know, the chain takes 10 minutes to load, so yeah, basically it's very long, we can definitely make like this fast path and try to progressively extract from the previous snapshot the transactions we want. But if there is not this very, very long startup issue, I just suggest you to try to load the history with mostly failing transaction replays until we fix the transactions themselves. This is the goal of having the backups of the transactions of staging on GitHub and being able to patch them. So we can filter, we can patch, we can do whatever we want in the history. And here what we want is to try to make most of the existing transactions working again. If we fail, that should not be a problem. New transactions will be happened after. So if people re-upload their contract, it should work again. If they don't, it could work again depending on how much we are good at writing the migration script. We can discuss on signal if you prefer, if it's not clear.
Yeah, no, I get the point. Because restoring the past transaction looks like it's not easy at all. So we should
Why?
find a
Because
unique way.
I'm not asking to make any action. I'm just asking to resuming the auto update. You paused the auto update because we decided to pause it at some point. The action I am asking is to resume it. If we resume the loop stuff, basically it should just get the latest software, try to replay the transactions, and they should just fail, and that's not a problem. And then we have the capacity to patch part of this history or all the history. No? Because
But
right now, when
you mean skip failing transaction?
yeah, that's what we are doing.
Okay.
And look,
Yes.
I think you should just resume the auto update.
Yeah,
And if you
sure.
resume the auto update, that's restart after the update. The actually worst case we should have is to have an empty chain, no blog post. But we should be able to continue from there. We should be able to upload new contracts, etc. And we should be able to patch the history, especially the blog, for instance, or whatever. Or maybe we can write a universal script that fixes everything.
Yeah, meanwhile, do we remain like failing transaction in your?
Yeah, so I suggest you to not care, except once again, if the startup is really long. If because of these failing transactions, we spend 15 minutes rebooting, definitely we can consider compacting the history here and in the future again. But if we don't have this startup duration issue, I just suggest you to resume and let us panic. Oh shit, we don't have blog anymore. Okay, let's fix it. Okay, fixed. What next?
I'll try, but I think the time we stopped using the staging loop was exactly for that reason, that it takes ages to restart. So
I think it was
that,
because it was incompatible when we had the Gnome package type, etc. No?
yeah, but it also takes a very long time to restore.
So if it takes long, we can definitely make a compaction regularly, whatever the method is. Yeah, feel free to do it, but not because of incompatibility. We should make combo compaction for slowness issues. It's like a GC.
Okay, thanks. I see.
Any other topics? Okay, it's time to wrap up. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Have a great day, everybody.